Hello and welcome, brothers and sisters of the multiverse. The last time I talked about the golden rule, and in this video and in a few others, mentioned all those rules that we never agreed upon. So today I want to present my concept of a possible new Magna Carta. You can call it Charter of Human Sovereignty or something. Let's try it out and see. I'm anxious to see if you like it. Just for the F of it. Preamble. Recognizing that every conscious being arises from the same universal origin and possesses inherent worth, freedom, and responsibility. This charter affirms the inalienable sovereignty of each individual. These rights exist by virtue of existence itself. No law, institution, or authority can grant, suspend, or revoke them. Their observance is the foundation of all legitimate order among peoples and generations. Article 1. Inherent dignity and equality. Every person is born free and equal in dignity and worth. No individual shall be treated as property, resource, or means to others' ends. All distinctions of status, privilege, or subordination that contradict this equality are null in principle and void in effect. Bam. Okay. Article 2. Sovereignty of the individual. Every person holds absolute sovereignty over the body, mind, and life. This sovereignty includes the right to determine one's actions, beliefs, associations, and manner of living. No authority may impose obligation or restraint except to prevent direct and demonstrable harm to others. So, basically, if you don't infringe your beliefs or do harm to others in any way, you're free to do whatever the F you wish. Article 3. Freedom from coercion. It's a big one. No person shall be compelled, manipulated, or coerced physically, economically, psychologically, or socially into labor, service, obedience, or consent. How about that? Economic necessity or institutional dependency shall not be used as instruments of coercion. Any contract policy, or system founded upon coercion is void ab initio. Article 4. Autonomy of conscience and expression. Each person has the unrestricted right to think, believe, speak, create, and act in accordance with conscience. No belief system, ideology, or institution may claim authority over individual conscience. Expression may be limited only where it constitutes a clear act of harm, not where it merely challenges, offends, or dissents. Article 5. No harm principle. The only legitimate boundary to sovereignty is the prevention of direct harm to others' life, liberty, or integrity. Harm shall mean deliberate or reckless injury to body, freedom, or essential livelihood, not emotional disagreement or moral disapproval. No collective interest or policy may override this principle. Article 6. Right to subsistence and peaceful existence. Every person has the right to access the basic means of survival, food, shelter, water, and rest, without surrendering freedom. Denial or conditional provision of these essentials for the purpose of control constitutes coercion and is prohibited. Communities and societies must organize cooperatively to ensure these conditions are met without infringing individual sovereignty. Article 7. Accountability of authority, so-called. Any structure claiming authority over individuals derives legitimacy solely from the free and continuous consent of those governed. So if even one of them says, no, I don't accept you as authority, you're not authority. That's it. Consent obtained through fear, dependency, or misinformation is invalid. When authority acts contrary to this charter, it forfeits legitimacy and must yield to the people's inherent rights of self-governance. Article 8. Right of refusal and withdrawal. Every person has the unconditional right to refuse participation in any act, system, or relationship that violates their sovereignty or conscience. No penalty, exclusion, or deprivation of basic needs may result from such refusal. So no penalty whatsoever if someone doesn't agree with something. Withdrawal from unjust arrangements is a lawful and moral exercise of freedom. Unjust arrangements. Even in second and third order effects. Article 9. Remedies and enforcement. Violation of these rights constitutes a breach of natural and moral law. Individuals and communities may peacefully resist, disobey, or dismantle any system that perpetuates such violations. Restoration of sovereignty and reparation of harm take precedence over punishment or revenge. The legitimacy of enforcement rests only in defense of life and freedom, never in domination. Big difference, right? Article 10. Perpetuity of rights. These rights are inherent, perpetual, and non-transferable. No treaty, law, or collective decision may suspend, limit, or reinterpret them. Future generations inherit them equally and bear the responsibility to uphold and expand their realization. Closing declaration. This charter stands as affirmation that true order arises not from subjugation, but from the voluntary harmony of free beings. All power exists to serve life, not to command it. Each person, by virtue of consciousness itself, is sovereign, answerable only to the truth within and the non-harm on to all others. What do you think? Does that sound at least half reasonable? It is our inherent right to own our life, our lifetime, our attention, even our beliefs, our resources, and those resources that are free from Mother Nature should also not be claimed as owned by someone with some power. That's it. And we would organize just beautifully. No one would miss anything. We could still not be in dark ages. I'm not talking about that. We still have technology and all of that, but not systems that manipulate us. Not those algorithms that nudge us to certain beliefs or actions. Not coercions, subtle psychological manipulations, and all of that. So automatically, things like marketing and advertisement and such would be illegal. Imagine that world. We are constantly being told what to want. And as the saying goes in Brave New World, how many was it? 64,800 repetitions make one truth, Bernard. It's brainwashing. Even if you're not seeing the same advertisement over and over again, but we see so many different ones, the underlying driver has the same language. You should want that. That's already a violation in form of psychological manipulation. There it starts, and you can't even go to the bakery around the corner without seeing all those advertisements all around. Just an example. It is, by definition, if you follow it even a little bit psychologically, of manipulation and coercion and planting of bad seeds and perpetuating mindless consumer societies. Not even thinking about the second and third and fourth and fifth order effects of that. Take the so-called forever chemicals, for example. It made money for a handful, but the rest of the world now is affected by that. And nature, and all of that. And effects that we can't even begin to measure in that regard. And wildlife then through nature, and and if you go by the you are what you eat kind of saying, then and then that affects genetically and epigenetically the next generations. All that ripple effects because of one decision of a handful of people on whole humanity. There are so many such examples. That could have been avoided more than simply just by those who claimed authority back then. Didn't do their job. They're selling us this idea that they're there for that. They're not doing that to protect us. As long as the eyes are rolling dollar signs, in the economy and 2-year plans and of growth and all that BS. F 99.99%, right? If we would just decide to globally make something like that, just a little idea, just a little thought, just planting seeds. Just think about it, what a world that would be. So, for me, for today, love your brothers and sisters.